We all know but na bad sick wey dem dey call coronavirus. Inside Salone, the young people dem plenty pass all man, and na we for support government for make sure say this sick no come naya.
But wait o, wetin young people dem for do for make sure say this sick no come naya?
For protect you and your family dem, make sure say you dey wash your hand fast with soap and water. Tap for go near person wey sick. If you feel sick with the symptoms of coronavirus like high fever, you dey cough pass mark one, or you tap pass mark and sef you dey choke when you dey breathe, make sure say you isolate yourself and call 117 for advice and help.
So, me company youth man and youth woman dem na the word that o. Let we come together for make sure say this sick no come naya so.
This message dey comot from the National Youth Commission.
For news, views, and entertainment, stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1, simply the best.
Studio, good morning and welcome to another edition of the program Good Morning Salone for this week, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today na Thursday, June 4, 2020. We will bring the program come to you this Thursday morning. My name na Saptiyo Kalon.
And me na Mabel Kaba, good morning. Inside this Thursday morning edition of the program Good Morning Salone, the Director of Teacher Management na the Teaching Service Commission, Marian Abodon, confirmed to Radio Democracy say na over 1,000 teachers them the commission don't suspend from the payroll system first because they say them been get problem with the verification process.
We get some temporal suspension of teachers them, but not to just not then suspending teachers here. They don't begin suspending from sometime in 2019, early 2019 to date. Now 1,948 teachers.
The leader for Government Business and Parliament, Honorable Matthew Newman, say na Parliament is standing order a use for pull the Public Order Act come out na Parliament force. And inside the program this morning, we go talk to the spokesperson at the National Election Watch New, Saliu Kamara, where they can talk about the 8 billion loans strengthening peace and democracy support where EU don't gain you.
Well, this plus other story them day for you inside the program, and also the lawyer for first-time retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte, lawyer Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara, don't say up till now them fail not say the correctional service they lock retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte and the two accused people them for 24 hours na then cell and now they allow them for come out na door. And inside the program Good Morning Salone, member say they listen live on www.radiodemocracy. They also listen live from Radio Shalom 89.5, where they cover the entire Koinadugu and Falaba district and some parts of Tonkolili. Same with so Radio Malin 88.5 na the entire Pujon district to Liberia border, and Radio Colonten 90.0 na Cambia. The program na Good Morning Salone. Send your message or comments to the number 077 981 981. Well, as I tell you earlier inside the program, today we'll get a representative from National Elections Watch New, Saliu Kamara, where they can talk about 8 billion loans strengthening peace and democracy support, where EU don't gain you. Good morning, and
Kabia gets more on this and gonna reports.
And on behalf of the Commission, I want to officially open this 2 days engagement, and I wish you the best, and I look forward to much more engagements in the near future with the organization and the network.
Voice of the Commission and the National Youth Commission, Golokata, been they launch the Enhancing Young Women Empowerment on Leadership and Mentorship projects, where Urgent Action Fund Africa. They support the initiative for creative women Sierra Leone, who said they train the young women there on leadership, empowerment, politics, and self how for take political positions them na the country. Bintu Ba, now the Chief Executive Officer for Initiative for Creative Women, talk more about this project.
as an organization, we thought it that young women are still underrepresented in leadership positions, hardly participate in decision-making on issues that affect them, and have hence not greatly benefited from such programs. Based on this context, Initiative for Creative Women, with funding from the Urgent Action Fund Africa, is implementing a project called Enhancing Young Women Empowerment on Leadership and Mentorship to Lead, with an aim of strengthening the participation of young women in the social, economic, and political life in supporting of a society where women and men are valued equally and have equal access to opportunities, resources, and government development programs. The project will also enhance the skills of our mentees to meaningfully participate in the fight against COVID-19 on behavioral-focused participatory intervention across communities, to develop and host state-based public leadership education programs for women in various political parties and communities. Partner at every stage in developing the leadership potential of young women and provides continuing guidance, assistance, observe and evaluate new programs, and connect women in supporting each other. We want to make sure that we support each other as women in Sierra Leone.
Dr. Bernadette Sly, now the president for the Women Shadow Parliament, say for long term now, young women them not only take elective positions them now the country.
We've seen generational gap in the sense that when you look at those elective positions or even non-elective but merit-based positions, we see a gap in terms of young women and elderly women. We hardly see in parliament young women. So there is a mismatch because they also bring their own dimensions and perspectives to bear. They can understand the issues of the young people better, even though we were also once your age, but we are living in a changing world. So mentoring is one important objective of the Women Shadow Parliament. We want to work with the young women. We want to work especially those who are aspiring for leadership position, be it elective or merit-based. You need first-hand information. You may need a theory.
We have already started setting it up here, and we are working with other partners to raise the capacity of that center. But we will ensure that there will be a center in every regional office of the Commission across the country, just to give support to young women and girls so that we start building a much more stronger human capacity for Sierra Leone. We are also giving a lot of opportunities to rural young women and girls in various programs that we run in agriculture, in entrepreneurship, in technologies and innovation. And so together we can all stand tall and make it happen.
Mr. Carter continue for encourage young women them for take elective positions them na the country.
Young women are not future leaders. They are women leaders, period. They must position themselves and resist the rhetorics that they must be in various areas when men leaders champion processes. Sierra Leone is moving towards a trajectory where we must see these sets of leaders with diversity. So it's not about political party. When I see you together, I see you as young women leaders. Please don't come here and start arguing about relationships between parties. APC, SLPP, PMDC, C4C, NG. Build a core so that you become the ambassadors that may start propagating why young women, be it in urban, peri-urban or rural communities, in shanty environments, in deprived communities, must stand tall.
Golokata end up say the commission go continue for support young women them by ICT and other thing them we go better them na society. For Radio Democracy, Kabia the reports.
The program where you listen to our Good Morning Salone, send your message or comments to the number 077 98198. As we tell you earlier on inside the program, today we get a representative from National Elections Watch New, when are the spokesperson, where they can talk about the 8 billion loans, when are the strengthening peace and democracy support, where European Union don't get new. Once more again, good morning sir, and welcome to the program.
Thank you, good morning.
Okay, you will start for tell or give a little bit background about National Elections Watch New.
Thank you. The National Elections Watch New, now a coalition of civil society organizations, non-governmental organizations, international non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, CBOs, women's groups, youth groups across the country. and we get a membership of over 400 organizations all registered. And our members then they operate all over the country. They established new in 2002. At that time when Sierra Leone we were for going to elections, you know, say we formally declared the war open 2002. And no international observers, in fact, people have been even afraid for Ghana, Sierra Leone because the war not being quite done yet. And the stories, the way they go out, it just frighten anybody for can even observe elections. So their organizations, Sierra Leoneans, come together and say, look, if nobody not come, these elections is very, very important for we peace and for the sustainability of we national cohesion. Because just imagine at that time when we conduct the elections, then some parts of the country they still not accessible. So we come together as civil society say, if other people are not getting mind can as Sierra Leone for can observe elections, now establish a domestic observer group, allow we be the people that for look over we elections. So now so we start and then they much not be even there because we come and we are mentored by NDI. We will work with we will set up a small team, we will train we own observers, and we've been just able to deploy them at them provincial headquarter towns and also district headquarter towns. But from that humble beginning day, we don't go too far. Now as we speak, almost all the elections, like the 2018 elections, we're able to deploy observers now all the polling stations across the country. And also all the elections that will don't take place, by-elections, primary chief elections, as long as now public elections. Now the national election was now able to observe all of the elections that day. But we want to take it a step further. Because normally when they say elections, we deploy observers. But we believe say the polling day alone is very important, but the process is the way they make the polling day go fine or it go bad. So we want to also make sure say we create a platform where we go make the people and come on board and make sure say all electoral processes go the way they're supposed to go.
So since the establishment of the National Election Watch, new in 1997,
2002,
to now, the coalition make up of over 400 civil society body them. Currently, as we talk, them 400 civil society body they're all still na member, na new or it don't drop or increase.
No, I feel say they're all still a member, but what you can normally do, because I know say na a coalition, na a loose coalition. So before we move into any electoral cycle, one of the key activities now for review membership. Now we know the one that we've been there for the past elections, if they're still there. And the kind of work they also they do is very sensitive. Some people that go work with you now, they can still there, but the kind of work where they do now, you know, kind of they in line with we stance and you have people that want to do.
So as of the last election, now it's not been the strength of the membership of new.
As of the last elections, now they tell you so we get over 400 members because we review membership and we make sure say we don't want any member who not officially registered. Before an organization for be a member of new for also be registered before you become a member of new.
And I don't at any point drop an organization where sometimes deviate from waiting new believe in.
No, well, not yet. No, we not ever do so yet because all the members they will get to they monitor their activities, they will feel say they try to work within the ideal of new.
So from the establishment of new to now, from that same day to now, you think so not only do fair job in terms of observing elections them in the country?
Yes, I feel so because from when we establish new and from when we observe elections, we they come up with to findings, we they come up with recommendations, seriously we not ever get any serious challenge. And why would they do so? We get certain mechanisms, certain guidelines where they put in place. We know they just write or give verdict to elections, to the process, we will know they. Now make sure say in every election we do, we not only deploy observers then at the polling stations from where they permanently, we make sure say we get senior and experienced people where they form roving teams. So they always they all over the place. So anything will happen, we even get people that we experience, we go day and we also get checklist. We not they deploy person as an observer who not trained. We they train you. We also they do background checks so make sure say this person who they recruit, you not get any political party leanings. So we recruit you, we put you, and when they report, you know they just write what you want for right. You'll be guided by the guidelines the way they give by the checklist the way they give. Therefore, there we can. So now if I get that kind of problem, they say, oh, when we do this.
So this 8 billion loan strength in peace and democracy support we una just don't get from the EU where una been pulled out on Tuesday seem for be one of the biggest funding them we new don't get. Tell we how it come about for let una able forget this support. What's the background to
Okay, thank you very much. I feel say I want for at this stage say a very big thank you to the European Union delegation in Sierra Leone, particularly the ambassador Tom Vance in team and also the technical team where they assigned who all work together. This thing actually came because we and you believe say elections not an event, not to say now one-off stuff. Elections now a kind of process, now something will get a cycle. A lot of activities that they come together who they culminate into the polling day. So their activities then they, if the people are not participating in them or they not do them fine, you're not going to correct them again during elections. So now it make we consider the period in between elections. That is where one election done to the tell you all the other one is very, very important. Because all the preparations that that period did they do them. You get for make law that they make, I get for reform something that they make them. So if you see you miss and day, obviously there is a possibility that you go miss the final stuff. So like I say, we knew, we just did observe. But in 2016, towards the 2018 electoral cycle, the European Union delegation at Sierra Leone, we asked them for grants. This period in between elections is very important. But normally we can be dormant. And by the time they become active now, closer to polling day, some things that will be don't go wrong, we not will get no way for change them. And some things, processes the way the people they not understand and not participate, that will even affect their commitment towards the polling day exercise. So when I give you this money so that law engage. So 2016 they will give a grant. And we use this grant for strengthening one with structures, processes and systems. Because we and you, as I say, we get a large membership across the country. But if we want to do effective work, you also find that we know the processes. Because the processes, the way they deal with them, very technical. So we build capacity and make with the work, we collaborate with a lot of institutions. We make sure say we put two structures then, like we have the SMC, the Strategic Management Committee, we have structures at regional level, we have structures at district level, we have structures even at chiefdom level. So we use that money there, that grant day 2016, for do all of that. And also, that money be able to help you for lot participate in a lot of processes and systems where the NEC they do, the other EMBs then they do, all participate and also able to contribute towards the processes they do.
Next structure then the way you talk about from that end they will not put on to now, what you will say about the relevance and effectiveness?
Well, they're very relevant and they're very effective because if we get for reach down to the people, we get for make sure that the structures then they function effectively. We don't want a decentralized system, and besides we want to stand on a solid moral ground because we always they tell other people and say, look, governance can for be participatory, governance can for be open. So we want we say for let them see we say we they do that. So now make we get a decentralized system, we get an open system where everybody they participate. So they're very effective as we they talk up to chiefdom level. They're very effective. Now make any time we they say for mobilize, just give a very little time. Now just a telephone call. Within seconds or within minutes or days, we they would mobilize across the country and do what you want to do. So they're very effective.
How una plan for utilize this new funding where una don't get for achieve the goal at the end of the day?
Yeah, well, we like I say, we plan for build on the successes of the 2016. Preparation.
Because on already getting structures and so this one will come now. USA specifically in the goal.
Yeah, when we do them today, the structures then go there, but always find for review structures because there is always room for improvement. Not that the structures they're not there, but we during the last elections, so many things then come up, so many recommendations then come up. For instance, before the 2018 elections, we all be know say the elections then the atmosphere have been tense. it's so tense that, I mean, some people if you say, oh, me, I'm not going to on these elections. But thank God we're able to go through the elections. And if you look at the verdicts given by observers, they say the election be transparent, the election be fair. But for more elections done, we still say even the political atmosphere in the country is still highly charged. Then we say clearly by the by-elections they would don't hold. Almost all the by-elections they would don't hold after 2018 elections. It marked by violence, it marked by intimidation, it marked by political intolerance. So these are issues who have to create a platform wherein the citizens then they come. Is this the kind of situation we want? Now, so one for law will move forward to go conduct the other elections? No. But we can foresee that now, we can foresee that as a nation and discuss that. Then two, before the 2018 elections, we can't forget the issue of, I mean, nomination fees. Then they will discuss that. Some people they say it too plenty. And because it's plenty, some people away want for come into the contest. They're not go able because they don't get the money. But we'll not be concluded. Now the elections come. Then we make on it. They will also get the issue of even the election date. As it is in Sierra Leone, we don't get a fixed date. So some people they say, no, let's get a fixed date. We know say now for all election January 10. After 5 years, now January 10 will be all and back. So you're not going to at the somebody go just say no money, no day. And even the issue of elections funding, we'll come up with that also. If government get the responsibility for fund elections, the people have to know whose mechanism will they put in place, where at the end of the period, the 5 year, if the 5 year will they make, nobody not get for can tell you, so, oh, government not get money for conduct election. So these are all issues we feel say, we for even discuss. And for add also to that, during the 2018 election, we see something way good will also happen. During the previous elections, all the one they can observe, they make recommendations. But as they make recommendations, that they die. But for the 2018 elections, the National Electoral Commission not just put their recommendations on their side. All the one who observe election, they make recommendations. And then compile their recommendations into a compendium where it amount to 103 recommendations with the non-compiled.
So in terms of the different structure and system, when you look back, so many things don't change. People in mind and everything don't change. You go agree with me, say, on an expected same structure, then therefore work towards the next election. Waiting for people on a strategy in terms of constructing or reforming some of the instruction systems we want to be put way back.
Yeah, well, not that we feel say they're not okay for day. But we also believe say there is always room for improvement. They all work during the 2018 elections, but we not get for say all 100% perfect. It must be a few things we also we need for improve. So now make we go sit down as an organization. We not go just sit down say, oh, this not the problem. We they make sure say as they do, we they go right around the country, and sometimes we they even get independent people there for do that for we. Whether they go right around the country, they look at the documentation, they look at the work that will be done, they do, interview people them where they knew, interview people them where not even they knew, but when they work with we. So that at the end of the day, we they get a kind of different, diverse ideas where they can. So now the ideas they have who say, no, the SMC, now so for tailor and now for designer for meet up the prevailing circumstances. The regional teams, now so for do that. Okay. So not that we they dismiss them, the nomenclature will they. But maybe the mode of operation, how they look at and see how they further enhance so they will be more effective.
Okay, continue for the between the program. Well, that's Nasalu Kamara and in the spokesperson na National Elections Watch. You don't tell me about how new don't they operate and talk about the system and structure, and also talk about the 8 billion loans when the strengthening peace and democracy support where EU don't give. We will come back to you and give you more in-depth explanation on how well on a get for use discover. The program na Good Morning Salone, and inside the program now we will look at another issue.
Well, the Director of Teacher Management and the Teaching Service Commission, Marian Abu, don't confirm to Radio Democracy say from 2019 to now they don't suspend over 1,000 teacher them from the payroll. He talked this in one interview with Radio Democracy where he been explain what the reason we make this suspension happen, as he say then teacher ya being get problem with verification. Well, Marian Abu talk more inside this interview with Mange Mansari.
Yes, that's true. We get some temporal suspension of teachers them But not to just not then suspending teachers here. They don't begin suspending from sometime in 2019, early 2019 to date. But not to be one day woko when it can teacher business.
You can tell me the total number where they suspend.
Now 1,948 teachers. The breakdown: Northwest gets 271, Southern region get 402, Western region get 384, Northern region get 454, Eastern region get 437.
So what are the reason?
We get various reasons. The first reason, they call them no-show. Then teacher, now they get this national identification number where we for take for every citizen in this country. The NCR, they get that number there. Some teacher, they no go register because of various reasons. Before this term, teacher they can just grab when one person die, somebody taking PIN code. Wait, no right. One PIN code now for one person. You die, the PIN code done. But apparently, because recruitment be restricted, most heads of schools, what they do? When one teacher die, then they replace him with another teacher at the school. Forgetting that then two teachers not get the same name. But 10 come when they say for register for elections, when the teacher then they go register, then they go register with that name when they use at the school. Now their original names that they go register with. For instance, for the Camara na Indai, you the teacher at the school na name Almami Conte. But because space there and at the only space where they go take that space there, put the camera in space, and make sure say they receive salary. Now sit all and name they. But you with NCRA, your real name, because you register with yourself, na Almami Conte. So we can try for match all the names then they, for make sure say it be one name, make fraud no day, na they can notice all the local problem here. The second set of people who call a mismatch. Inside can be name and date of birth. So when they can at TSC can register, this dates and born me. Then when they go NCRE, they can go different date of birth. When they go NASIT, because they want to stay long in the field for work, they get a different date of birth. The name and this date of birth, then they call a mismatch. And if you get name wrong, date of birth not be the same, now they call major mismatch. And so when they take like 10 years, someone born 1971. We go now city say born 1981, just because 10 years ended at the field, a major mismatch. And we believe say that they're not so straightforward thing. Now for the thing they do. Because of that fraud day, we know they put in at the payroll. A mismatch then call them. We get some, then get the NASIT number, then get certificate for being teacher, but they don't get NIN. NIN, National Identification Number, na number where every Sierra Leonean forgets, because they say that number there, you go police so now you go use, you go for passport so now you go use, you go for ID card, everything. Some man not get them because you not just be registered, you not be just care for register. Some man be sick, some man be just not feel say if or go register. So that's another reason. Some man, when they supply the NASIT number to we get for supplying to accountant general, then they left the letter where they before, then give the number. And if you left the letter where they before, now wrong NASIT. So all them group of people here that they'll put together with now 1,948, and they don't suspend them from getting salary. They don't have the payroll.
Who say when I generate this information for suspending teachers there?
We work with different partners. We work with NCRA, we work with NASIT, and we work with the Accountant General Payroll, the Ministry of Finance. We get consultant. We do all them here. You bring all them here together to try for fish out. Down the way gets problems. So apparently from last year we don't begin get this thing. They ask some teachers therefore go do correction. But most of them don't go, and they don't suspend their salaries for so long. What we believe say nobody not even go suspend his salary for even a month. They don't raise some alarm. So they make us say let's suspend them without salary. They don't have the payroll. If they can't teach don't have the payroll, then are part of these teachers then. But this list don't pull so now anybody will not go do in correction of whatsoever the problem, because everybody by your name apparently will put the reasons why you are suspended. If you not go correct them, then meaning you not get salary, you will terminate it all. We just don't begin receive. I can give you an example. We don't receive the first list from Falaba district. Per this 1,948, Falaba get teachers they were 33. Now we don't know say some teachers they will abandon. Some teachers in like 6 don't go for go do their correction. We just they wait for their hard copies. They will correct their details. Inside they will get like a 17 we don't die. Well, we don't get the death certificate, so they're not going to able to process them. So then they will not terminate them. If we get the certificate, we replace them with other teachers.
You talk about termination.
The documents, the information, they're all correct. They will send them to them. The next time they look them, not only they look them, they get a payroll consultant to look them, they get a IT, they get boku steps before they confirm them. And anything they do, we sit down together and put them together before we take a decision. So it's not a TSC one green do because at the AE place, TSC don't terminate, no, don't suspend teachers. No. Now waiting, we all sit down as a body and come together and say, then why let me hold their salary and see if they come forward. Indeed, we don't begin see just 1 week we don't send this thing out. A lot of people they come forward.
Alright, well that's Marian Abu, the director of Teacher Management and the Teaching Service Commission. But they talk on that interview with Mange Mansari for sick reason. We make suspension of over 1,000 teachers them they on right now. The program Good Morning Salone they continue. We take the short break and continue with the issues them.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody elect you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money now the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office elect you not get the account number. Buy Electoral, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for the boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The Anti-Corruption Commission want for make all government workmen they know say the last day for declare the income, assets and liabilities now May 31 or before that 2020. Punishment go there for the one they will not declare by this term.
All government workmen will they elect, them politician them, all the one they will they grade 7 and above, and the one they serve what they lower grade, but same way so they deal with money.
Any government workman will then sack, retire or resign for declare. All the government workmen for declare after every 2 years. That means say now 2022 we go get the general declaration back.
You can also declare your asset online na www.anticorruption.gov.sl.
If you fail for declare, then go force all your salary. If you still not declare, then go suspend you. And if you still make yes, then go sack you after 3 months.
Make sure say you declare your income, assets and liability so that you don't go get what Allah.
This message they come out from the Anti-Corruption Commission.
The program Good Morning Salone they continue. Send your message or comments to the number 077-981-981. Still with me at the studio get Salio Kamara, we are the spokesperson National Elections Watch new. It only tell you about the 8 billion strengthening peace and democracy support where European Union don't get so new. Mr. Salio, look at the purpose of this money. A state categorically in the way owner for utilize this money on. And one for enhanced citizen participation in democracy reform for the 2020 or 2023 election. In that approach, like putting it for being new then strategy for make sure say everybody involved.
Thank you very much. I feel that very, very important because when we talk about governance or we talk about democracy, the people are involved. And one thing we could make the people come on board now knowledge. If the people they don't know the processes, they don't know how they say for come on board, normally they don't get for make this. So now make for this project who just don't get from the EU, one of the focus of the activities will be one, for law we will get an educated citizens. The citizens therefore be educated, the citizens therefore be well informed about their rights and responsibilities. Because that is one thing where if you lacking, then the people we will come on board. For instance, we talk about national registration. this national registration, the people for able to know clearly what is the importance of this national registration. Why is it that the people for go and register? Apart from even using the document for vote, which other important attached to this document, that card where they give it. So once the people are able to know this, then obviously that will able to end it. Then we get so many other issues them where actually they will feel say the people them for really participate. For instance, we get even the constitutional review process. This process may not start. And when they talk of elections, some of the things the way some of the recommendations the way come from the observations get for do with review of the policies they will already get. Some of them get for do with even coming up with new policies and meet this. So then processes then they we get for make sure say we create the platform as new. We not get all the knowledge because, as I say, we deal with technical issues. But I mean, we collaborate with a lot of people. We collaborate with NEC, we get the constitutional mandate for conduct elections in this country. We collaborate with ENCRA, we collaborate with security agencies, and we know say all of them bodies there, all of the institutions very, very important. So what do? We create the platform. We are in them people here they come. Then we will talk to the people and then we will interact with the people and so that the people then go participate and not only participate, we want the citizens for also then at the forefront for set the agenda.
We talk about democratic governance and citizens participation. Let draw your attention to things them where they happen currently in the country from the 2018 election to now. I want to take you to constituency 110 where up to now people in that constituency they will talk about democratic governance. They not get member of parliament. They not get people somebody for talk to them at parliament. From when the election done, me and you know the draw we done the up till now we election not conducted dates for let them people they get representation. Waiting some of them kind thing I mean looking at good governance and democratic society way then kind support here they come for Salone. Waiting they kind thing I mean.
Well, I feel say it means so much and it's very important. That instance the way it talk it concern we as well. Because we say as new be the right on the ground until everything complete and also come up with a press statement we will also register with concerns and recommendations. So waiting this project actually they try for do towards the instances they did for now create a platform we say with all the CIDOM, all the stakeholders concerned, the policy makers, the executive, the civil society, all of us sit together and discuss it. This how we forgo about resolving the issues there. Because for now, we not get platforms how they sit up and constructively engage with the issues there.
But now they work with the National Electoral Commission when are then they in charge for ensure, say, for example, things like that the election be conducted, let the people themselves get voice, somebody will represent them for channel and concerns them.
Yeah, that is very true. We work with them. And interestingly for us, we say a very good, just recently, I mean, the president also done kind of set, I mean, a task force, I mean, a kind of committee where they liaise, where they meet civil society and government. And the Honorable Vice President, now they give the responsibility for champion that. Now I make you very much happy when we launch this project. The Vice President, despite the fact he's very busy and despite the circumstances where they're on the ground now, he find time for lay, he go the himself in person. And he assure we say, he take elections, business and governance issues very seriously. And even assure we say, he go make sure say, even some of them sessions of them committee, they are with civil society government delays. Then go they allocate some sessions them where they specifically just they discuss elections business that civil society and government they discuss all issues related to elections. So, and once that happen, some of the issues they are already told like constituency 110 we do try for bring them come up, we discuss them there together with the other relevant bodies them and see how we go put a stop to that.
This is one big word again where the part of this particular project and you say on another one for limit elections to just an event where they happen a day and we forget about them. From the 2018 election to now, how new go describe peace and democracy in a Salone as it is?
Well, I feel say even we make it very clear say since we the 2018 elections done, the political atmosphere is highly charged. You know, we find out say you can see I mean, by the by-elections themselves who conduct, where they go by the by-elections, if they see political intolerance, if they see violence, if they see intimidation, and when you look, you go really know say the country not there as one.
I don't say for know waiting at the root cause and how we for move from some of them here if we really want for see Salone as a democratic state.
Well, this is one of the essence of this project we'll get, because this project then enable we not the only sit down as new say, oh, this is not the problem, but it enable you for law bring all stakeholders then together. Law will discuss the issues there. Law will discuss how things they go in the country. So collectively, we able to pinpoint say these are the issues, these are the problems, these are the factors they will get for address. So once we do so, it not going to be something just coming from new. It's something coming from the citizens collectively, and collectively we could try to get solutions to them problems. And so now we could very much welcome this project for camp.
When you look at the governance reforms you talk about something new and improve and better system. Now, in terms of new implementing these different projects or program them, you think say though the corporate day for this in any way it will be that easily possible?
Yeah, well, I feel say collectively, because the will is there. If you look at, I mean, even the commitment, the way governments have they make in public places and documents, then they give the commitment, say, we are willing to do this, we are willing to do that.
Because the people are not feel say because close to election and that I mean they become important in a society. Now it make all in kind tiago they come up. Because if you do a reform, there are going to be new system and more value added.
No, that is it, and I make we feel say he always try, and I make we say take the period in between elections to be very, very important, because now we're able to do certain things, but as we move to the elections, now the more the tensions then they rise, and the more the tensions then they rise, now the more we're not going to do it right. But at the moment we're able to do something better. For instance, as we speak, we get, I mean, reforms the way they go on, or review process where they go on for review the decentralization policy and also the Local Government Act. And then they review the aspect that we also get for do with elections of primary chiefs and local government elections. So these now reforms we also who are for them, because a lot of people not even know say this process even they go on. So we want to make sure say that process there, we'll bring them to the table, we'll make like people they know, and we'll create the platform where people actually they participate, where they go they on board.
Though you don't see the reforms here get involvement of some people, but most time where process then they review or they do a reform, you carry the main people who are supposed to be party, they not be even get an idea say then kind here they go on. So what you go say about on your involvement with different people and other organizations and way new they work with?
No, that's you right, because some of the reforms they should say, then they go on, but not to everybody know. And even some people that way really by virtue of what they do by their mandate, they're supposed to be part and parcel of their processes there. They're not the part and parcel of them. So this now the advocacy we say want for do, for make sure say everybody come on board, especially the one the way their mandates call for that. For instance, if they do a review of them policy, like I said, the decentralization policy, the Local Government Act, you get to think of the paramount chiefs. You get to think of the local authorities. You get to think of Parliament, because they were the people who they mandate directly related to that. And you also get to think of the people, the taxpayers, whose role they play, whose submission, whose contribution they make. So this is the platform that we want for create. And a lot of the issues they are there. Like I've been saying just now, all the elections observers them will be come, they give recommendations, and their recommendations here, they give recommendations for the media, they give recommendations for the use of state resources, they give recommendations how for police the elections, how for security, so all of it. So we they work with them people and they, because they know make sure say they don't put all of their recommendations 103, they don't bring and count down to 6 thematic groups, and for we and you. Within all the 6 thematic groups that they were all represented
so
by
now
the groups and they.
People be done they see new as an independent body where like now voice where anytime where election they can people they look forward to for see then go get independent view but electoral process from the National Election Watch, and this project where the EU don't sponsor they don't support on for implement, so on go for collaborate with government institutions them way and aligned institutions them at the end of the day for achieve what una want forget at the end of the day. But being that una na independent body, how new plan for draw the line for ensure say una not get any interference and continue for be independent body, especially now where it states categorically so una for work with government and some people where they hear government, then no say we know the political situation of the country. So how on a plan for draw the line?
Well, now for just continue because from most start we always do work with government, we always do work with other EMB, the election management bodies, and of course we work with NEC because NEC now they get the constitutional mandate for conduct elections. So anybody where they work around elections, it just get for work with them. But always we get the constitution. The constitution they define who we are and what you stand for. And we also
now we don't done the work in line with.
Yes, now that we done the work from the morning. We get to constitution. We get to code of ethics. We code of conduct. We every year we review that code of conduct for see whether it educates or whether for add something there based on the experiences of previous elections. So we always make sure say we adhere to the code. So right. Even if we collaborate, that doesn't mean that we allow for me then co-opt to it. Because I mean the good thing is that even the acting chief electoral commission and national electoral commission immediately on the launch, and when he make his statement, he make them very clear. He say we commend them. He say because then they even help you for law do a better job.
Right.
He say because even though then they collaborate with you, but anything where they see say it go wrong. He say they always bold enough for me they can't tell you say no, this day the way they go, they not supposed to go so. So when they work with them, but that doesn't mean say when somebody do something or feel say it not go good for the process, we not go come back and tell you. We not the only pull press statement. We pull press statement and we follow them up with bilateral engagement because the essence not to for criticize person but for make sure say we improve situations. So now so we done the work.
Continue for the between at the studio Salu Kamara, spokesperson for the National Election Watch. The program they continue with a take short commercial break.
Better don't come. Now Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank na Salone for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme there. We branch and they all up at na Salone. Boko no kenema, we de. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we de. Jala free town don't sa, we de. And my lengthy one, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank na Salone for me and you. Union Salone Banco, Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
Salone get in first corona case March 31, 2020. And from that time to now, plenty people don't get this sick. But plenty people same way so done well from the sick. After we then clear them go to treatment center and take good care of them. But the sick still in the country.
Plenty people get message them where they can talk. And some of them message they are not even be true. Now that make Radio Democracy with support from Osiwa, they bring to you special Corona update program. Also, you go to get accurate information about the coronavirus in the country.
This program going to be every Wednesday, 12 to 1 o'clock afternoon.
And Master Sabi people them from the well body sector and other people themselves go there for tell you body sick.
The program Good Morning Salone they continue. Send your message or comment to the number 077 981 981. Inside the program now, we look at one of the headlines to read them. Inside December 2019, the Ministry of Information and Communication be table the Public Order Act of 1965 now the Well of Parliament for make member of Parliament look inside and repeal Part 5 where they talk about the criminal libel law where on the Hamburg journalists they work. Tuesday, June 2nd this year, the leader of government, business and parliament, Honorable Matthew Numa, be pulled this bill force according to the parliamentary standing order 59. Where this reason make the editor for the Salone Times newspaper, Thomas Dixon, say this na time where the executive for put more drink on this bill for make it go turn to law. Princess Spears gets more and gonna report.
Part 5 na the Public Order Act of 1965. Na one part the law them where people believe say don't they tie journalists them for do the work. We make government after government. Don't they promise the media for police law commotes na the law book. And President Bio during in campaign been promised for police law. But from that time to now, President Bio don't they talk about this commitment plenty time.
My government acknowledges the role of media in enhancing participatory democratic governance. Journalists should hold government accountable in a responsible and professional manner. To that end, government is firmly committed to repealing the criminal libel law.
This commitment from President Bio make this bill be done on Parliament. But Tuesday, June 2nd this year, Parliament been pull this bill come out. But waiting are the reason for this?
It was due to parliamentary proceedings, section 59, SO 59 of the standing orders. Tells us that if you have a bill that lapses for over 3 months or a session is finished, you have to review it again. Otherwise, you have to have a consensus in the chamber for you to look at the document again. That doesn't mean we are just throwing it away. No, we are only basically observing the procedures in Parliament. The bill will come again because, from that time to now, it has lapsed over 4 or 5 months. So we are going to start all over again. The minister will come and start with the normal process to have a bill. We want to sanitize the whole document.
That's not the leader of government, business and parliament, Honorable Matthew Numa, been they talk about the reason why make them police bill na parliament. Mohamed Rahman Souare, na the Minister of Information and Communication, and na the person where been laid this bill na parliament. But how he feel about this?
Not to the Ministry of Information, the responsibility for craft law. You know, say the law officers department then say get their own boku that's in them for do. But finally, I'm pretty confident we will get that bill ready. We will table the bill once we all okay with the safeguards there. One thing we clear now the fact say government in commitment for repeal the criminal libel law, not to deal with the compromise. So we don't get problem with that. We will relaunch them. Just how we wish it had not happened this way. So we just continue the process.
The Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, na the parents body for journalists them na Salone, where don the champion the cause for police law. Ahmed Said Nazrela, na the president for this association, he say then they look up to the Ministry of Information for look inside this law.
What we tabled before, the part of the conditions of Parliament give, part of the concerns of Parliament, now that they want to see assurances, safeguards them, both from the IMC part and from sludge part. So say we post repeal, people repetition will be protected. So we just get for all the Ministry of Information for be more proactive and more forward looking. And as large we while to the hope, we also get for be cautious. Because we don't say elections they can this now. And then a lot there where elections they come, it can be difficult for me to repeal. This not to favor government to do to the media. This not law they affect every citizen.
But how journalists them receive this message? Thomas Dixon, now the editor for the Salone Times newspaper, he say cabinet for put foot down for say this law pass.
I think the withdrawal is very sad, very unfair for a bill for the Parliament for 3 months without being discussed, especially a bill as important as ensuring the fundamental human rights of not only journalists but all Sierra Leoneans. In the executive need for put on more effort. It doesn't stop with drafting the bill and taking the bill to Parliament. Otherwise, it will be seen as a form of political game. It will be seen as a bill where the president intends for less as part of a legacy. We go enhance in democratic credential as well. And for counsel journalists, they need to go through and strengthen the IMC Act. I not believe the IMC Act should be strengthened. We don't need a replacement of the criminal libel law. We need a removal, an absolute repeal of that law.
As this law don comot our parliament now, e get for go through the process dem back wey e be used for reach day for make member of parliament dem go begin debate am back. For Radio Democracy, Princess Pierce dey report.
Program Good Morning Salone they continue, and don't forget yourself where they listen. The program get the opportunity for our voice to tell them where we they talk about now the program. At this point, we want to say plenty thank you to all the radio stations them where they link Radio Democracy in a different parts of the country for ensure say any side where you day you listen live to updates of different issues them where the station they cover. Plenty thank you to the management of Radio Shalom, where na 89.5 FM, where they cover the entire Koinadugu and Falaba district and some parts in Atonkolili. Plenty thank you again to the management na Radio Malin for 88.5 FM. Then they cover the entire Pujan district to Liberia border. Radio Colinten 90.0 na Cambia, and self we get Radio 1G 101.1 na, and self Radio Mau we na Radio 105.5 na Kailaun district. Plenty thank you to all of them, and Yusuf with the link we for not get you information. Plenty thank you with the link we continue with the program, and they come over again to the spokesman for the National Election Watch we Nasalu Kamara. Now let's look at the issue we get for do with credibility, because now key thing Pandenka and project here where EU don't support new for rollout. So in terms of credibility of the kind institutions them we new the work with, the civil society body them also one of the major civil society body them we new the work with.
Well, we they work with the principally we work with the National Electoral Commission, because you know say that they get the constitutional mandate for conduct elections in this country. They will also they work with PPRC. You know say they get the mandate for register political parties. We they work with political parties. We they work like ONS. They will provide security for elections. We they work with in other civil society organizations. We they work with government MPs.
Yeah, the civil society organizations and they are asked, because now we get people and we get this perception say some civil society organization they we then just there for promote the good sides and not there for bring out issues them we let go critique and for let correction be done. Waiting at the other than the civil society body them when you they work with.
We work with diverse civil society bodies. We work with faith-based organizations. The one they would panel religious business there. We work with youth organization, we work with women's organization, we work with CBOs. In fact, we even get farmers organizations they will all work with. But when you talk about the issue of credibility, we make sure say we get certain safeguards the way they like we say. For now we even get a quality assurance officer. We get that quality assurance officer and also they do monitoring. So they make sure say whatever we want to do, we get we they see it, we get code of ethics, code of conduct, where they guide we. So once that day and people in the way they monitor that, we just said they do like peer monitoring. We know they allow everybody they monitor in company, but the things that what they do, we know they just come on go do anything. Whatever we have to do, they make sure say we look at we document the way they can, we look at the constitution, we look at we code of ethics, we look at we checklist them. And every little thing we have to do, they train the people that we can for go. I was they train una not only with they give una the knowledge on how to go about it, but they give una proper orientation of what you stand about. One thing we always aware of the kind job who they do.
How much you can emphasize on integrity within different people in the way they work with? Because if most people lack integrity, the issue about compromise now one we go always deal within.
Then they will not even compromise them. Even way would they go into elections, even the close way they wear, the language way they talk, the cap way they wear, everything will get for tell you about them. You not get forget any bearing to any political party. And in some cases, we say we discover, we observers there, so they not train you. But we see some kind way, so the kind close way where we put under the moment we see you, that moment in a day they pull you will replace with somebody else. So we know they really joke with her because we know say the kind of work what they do na integrity na get we. The moment we lose that integrity, nobody's prepared to work with us.
In terms of una observer them we una can use for election and by elections them, how una they get the observer them, una can change them any election or na then organization ya can just provide the people them we una for use as observers.
Yeah, well, how would they recruit? When we start, we just go and recruit. But from experience, we realize we not they go so no more go recruit. But the recruitment will be done by organizations that will register. They will not also a member of new. For instance, you get the Network Movement for Justice and Development, you register. So if then they recruit people then people and they work under the name of the Network Movement for Justice and Development. So whatever is happened, the leadership of the organization, they take responsibility. So by so doing, you find out say people and the way they take responsibility for each of the people. So if anybody happen, we get somebody who they call. Because when we start to they do a mass registration. So they call people and come. And it's very difficult at that time for scrutinize them. But once the registration is being done through membership, so anything will happen, the people the way they recruit under your organization, you take responsibility for them. So that they make sure they not they recruit anybody will not get background check on them.
Una don't at any time maintain an observer for like a period of 3 different elections or not just one election for observer then una change them.
Yeah, well, changes them actually the day, but sometimes say we get levels of observers. We get the one the way they sit permanently in the polling center or polling station. We get the one the way be to say then they act as supervisors. You get the other one the way they rove. So some people because of the experience they not get for go sit down permanently again at the polling station, but then could play another role like supervising the others.
Okay, continue for the with me inside the studio. In name Nasalio Kamara and in the spokesperson the National Elections Watch new. It don't tell we about the 8 billion support where you don't give them and how they plan for use this couple. Inside the program Good Morning Salone now we go for a break.
They causing confusion.
But this confuse me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in World Solid. Look him block them with them beat for them, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen, me wall down for them, all the block they all don't scatter. It like say some kind magic they behind this. You want to know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement where are the use, and that's not Dangote 3X Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement na the highest grade cement in the country. When na 42.5 R grade cement, when no one day come na this country, and na one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want you concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement, you no go regret them. You go get Dangote 42.5 R cement na all the shop and building material store na the one whole country.
Call 117 and it's same you begin feel fever.
The coronavirus dey na salone now. Na sick, we don't kill plenty people in the world. But if you do wetin well body will command them, they say make you do. And self report quick. If you fear not say you get sign or any person near you don't get same sign them, it's possible for let the person well.
The well body workman say for let the sickness scatter all sign at the country. If you don't get nothing for go do not skit, sit down na os.
Go dey wash your hand fast with soap and water, or you use hand sanitizer, so that the tumbu go die if you don't can your hand.
When you dey waka, let for go dey touch them wall and then railing them, because you no go know that don't touch them.
Not forget, call 117 if you get person wey sick na you host or you community.
And Osiwa support radio democracy for bring this message to you.
Within them where we the church or play, not a near person we get fever.
The program Good Morning Salone they continue with still get the spokesman for New Salio Camera at the studio. And let me look at the issue we get for do with changes. When I don't they observe elections na the country for long time now. We dey expect the next election in 2023. Now we dey in 2020. But if you want for reflect from the 2018 election wey una been observe the presidential elections, wetin new one for see change in terms of citizens' participation and democratic governance, because na the major thing and then the way these projects wey EU dey fund una for one for see improvements, and because they say for strengthening peace and democracy. Wetin una want for see change?
Yeah, we want for see let the people and let the citizens not see elections as time for violence, because this don't come out very, very clearly. Even with the by-elections, they hold the old. Any how they say elections they come, the people who did it now all man they afraid. Some people have said no, they sit down there, then they go because they know say once the elections is synonymous with violence. So now down they will now foresee elections for be a civil exercise. So violence not for mixed day at all. And we believe say for law we will achieve that, we need a lot of engagement, we need a lot of talk. When the Honorable Vice President they do the launching, he talk about systematic citizens disengagement. That is when citizens they no longer get interest by the governance issues of the country. He said bad, and indeed the bad. Because when the people they lack that interest, they know they participate. And once they not participate, there is the likelihood that things they not get for go right. So down there, the violence in the election, the political intolerance, we no want for them. We want for law they see the citizens then they turn out, the citizens then they participate. But any electoral process, and they know they only participate in some cases, we want them for also set the agenda. So that let things then go the way how as citizens they want to go.
Look, go back a little bit. Inside 2018 elections, some recommendation will come out from the Electoral Observer Mission, so that for the next election it will be more transparent and credible. Now in this one are different strategies, reform and method they wanna get for it. In any way wanna go incorporate some of the recommendations, yeah?
Of course, yes. In fact, now one of the key points of this project proposal, because even the EU support we they also take them very key. And I'm not certain, but I feel say necessary they support NEC for make sure say they take their recommendations, then they forward. We think it happen over the years, then they make recommendations, beautiful recommendations, including even new. We say any election they make recommendations, but we say now they give the recommendations that they done. And the final say when another election come, the same problems they repeat themselves. But for 2018, next say no. This time, now we'll do something. Then say talk to their partners, they support them. And so far, so good. The steps they would not take, we self appreciate that. Because they not only go and compile to themselves, they bring all the stakeholders then concerned. Everybody come on board. When we go to the meetings and so we can do this, we compile them, we look at them. What they do now, they don't put them into 6 thematic groups. So there's 6 thematic groups then they, for instance, the one who get for do the media. And they bring all the people who work on the media. Okay, this is not the recommendation of the people that they make. We now go look and come up with activities. We now feel say if we implement the activities, then they will go able resolve this problem. We now then at the security, we now say go look. So it's like not a new kind of NEC they coordinate no more, but the the institutions them we really get a stake in them different areas they do the work. So I feel say we very much involved, as I been say, we knew then all the 6 thematic groups that we establish. So meaning we get a role for play in the implementation of, rolling out of the recommendations. Then.
This being time, we see the president be meet with different civil society organizations. Them any message, one part in key message them that meeting, and also encourage the civil society organizations them for ensure say and support government efforts and promote democracy and peace in the country. And now they be talk say the vice president for work closely with the civil society organizations them for achieve this. And we see now the vice president been do the launch of this particular project so we talk about today. Apart from this launch we don't do, from the call of the president encouraging civil society organizations them for support democracy, waiting for be the role where the vice president get for the play in this particular call where the president will make to the civil society organization, the way you ask them for work closely with Tuna.
Yeah, we're very happy because in the first place, the vice president at some point long years back, he said a part of the civil society because he said be not in a civil society. And when he talk, he go really know say, oh, this na be civil society, although a lot of people still consider and say na part of us. So we happy because even the fact that the vice president be able to go physically, looking at how the situation dey now, the coronavirus dey, then the kind schedule we get, but he make sure say he go. So that we na indication for sure say wetin the president talk and the responsibility we give the vice president, he ready for take am forward. And only stop at that. The vice president also talk about wetin really democratic institutions they mean. Say democracy not the work, good governance not the work any side when the people and self no kind not able to come on board and participate in the processes.
So now look
very
at
more happy. And one thing yeah, sure we say this, I mean, system, this initiative where the president don't start so where they don't get the responsibility. He go make sure say then go they devote sessions them we'll just they talk about elections, we'll just they talk about governance issues in the country. So welcome that once that happen, that don't give you a platform which how they discuss all of the issues there who they talk about.
So looking at the partnership one don't get with EU and the support, how well you go make sure say they apply strategy them we go make the integrity and credibility of una continue among people and that of una different partners they wanna they work with in terms of this particular project.
I feel say we dey continue for do what it will be used for do, and we also feel say we get for make sure say we improve, we scale up. We also feel say we get for come up with new initiative, we do so. For instance, before now, new be just get a spokesperson when now they go, but we see say the work. If you look at the work we entails with this project, is so enormous that one spokesperson not go able to do it all. So we don't start the reforms there already. Instead of just having a spokesperson, now we get a communications team. Communications team where you get some people where they look at the social aspects of it because now in the norm, you get for look at other people where they look at this video and documentary, all of it. So it's like now we get around something. So the same thing that we get for do. We get for make sure say we intensify. We look at ourselves. We don't want to let other person from the tree tell we who we are.
Okay.
We want to do the critique. We critique ourselves. We do self-assessment on we own. We feel say we are going wrong. We can say no. Before we make this law change this.
Continue for day with me in the studio. Salio Kamara, spokesperson National Elections Watch New. It only tell we about the support and partnership they don't get with EU as we for implement different projects and program them for the 2023 election.
Alright, so they look at other issue of the program now. Also Wednesday, June 3rd this year, na High Court before Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens, one pan the lawyer them for retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte, Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara don't say up till now them fair not say the correctional service they lock retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte and two other accused people them for 24 hours. Now then sell them and not they allow them for commot na do. Well, we court reporter Usman Kamara gets more on this and go report.
For every day with Justice Alhaji Momoja Stephen Kinkana courts, first thing we can ask na that any issue they for address before the court starts proper one. Some term them issue kin day and some other term them issue not kin day. But for Wednesday, June 3rd this year, issue mean day when a phone issue. And lawyer Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara we raise this concern after we security them may take them phone them at the hand. And say now some of them phone here them can use for do them small research them where the case they carry on. But say the security then they allow the state prosecution team for all their own phone where they can inside court where he say that's not to justice. But Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens be look inside this matter and be quick for settlement between the defense and the state prosecution so that all man go get understanding. After we Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens to look inside this issue, second issue where lawyer Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara raised na that the correctional service they lock retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte and the two other accused people let 24 hours na them cell and self not they get access for get fresh air. It continues say now only the term where retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte and the two accused in the Kana court. Now that term day then they able to get fresh air. We make Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens say the three accused people forget the same facility like other accused people na the correctional service and say then three accused people are innocent because the court not find them guilty yet. And after wey Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens be don say this, e be ask the Attorney General and Minister of Justice office for make dem get access for go na state host because e say this go help for make justice dey inside the case wey e dey look inside. Witness number 11 na Joseph Abubakar Sanu, Detective Police Inspector and attached na the Criminal Investigation Department and then na the Scientific Support. Where e be dey talk, e say e member March 31 this year. E mean dey on duty na the Criminal Investigation Department, where Detective Inspector Aminata Kamara be with there on behalf of Detective Superintendent MK Aliyu for expert examination. And that year, with Detective Inspector Aminata Kamara been come with now one black block 17 pistol with number SL/CID-20/BFEF 234. The second one now one black block 21 pistol SL/CID-17/MUX 841-104.P. Joseph Abubakar Sanu, Detective Inspector carry on say, after we don't examine them, he may find out say they not mean clean this weapon after we them don't fire with them. Now that point the witness reach, we lawyer Joseph Fiji Akamara be object say, no evidence of gunshots, not there inside the indictment, inside this case. So he say the evidence not important, and say the state prosecutor, lawyer Adrian Fisher, they ask leading question them to the witness. We make Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens be ask lawyer Adrian Fisher for make a rephrase in question. Witness carry on say the block 21 pistol get a be sound past the block 17 and the block 17 light past the block 21. Now this point again the witness reach lawyer Adrian Fisher be asked for make the witness Joseph Abubakar Sanu, Detective Police Inspector, for demonstrate na court how then they fire pistol. But the witness no me only pistol and mean they demonstrate on action and say the block 17 pistol go damage any object if it is between 50 meter. We make later the clerk may give the witness the exhibits them for confirm if not them may they talk about. But before the cross-examination they carry on, lawyer Joseph Fiji Akamara be raised concern again say the witness say in an expert, but not tender nothing for sure say in an expert in ballistics, and say the testimony where the witness they give, not just in opinion, they give the court. So he say this evidence and testimony not important for the court. Where me they respond to waiting lawyer Joseph Fiji Akamara say. The state prosecutor lawyer Adrian Fisher say before the witness begin testifying at court, the judge may ask if any objection dey, but say they may answer say no, and only now then they raise this objection. After this comment by the state prosecutor, Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens be asked Joseph Fiji Akamara for cross-examine and look inside the qualification of the witness. But lawyer Joseph Fiji Akamara be reply say, na lawyer Africanos say go do that. Cross-examine continue by lawyer Africanos say, question, you say you get certificate in ballistic from Accra, Ghana. Na PhD certificate? Witness answer say, no my lord, not a PhD. Another question, na master's certificate you get? No my lord, not a master's certificate. Another question, na bachelor's certificate you get? And still the witness be answer say, no my lord. After plenty question them, lawyer Adrian Fisher been same way so object say all waiting the defense they ask not relevant because the witness get 12-year experience and capable for doing work. But this particular issue of qualification be take long term and during the entire the juror do not mean they around because of legal matter according to the court. We make Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens be ask the clerk for call the juror them so then go carry on with this case. Lawyer Africanos say be ask other plenty question them as way for cross-examine this witness. The alleged treason case go continue in a high court and different witness them go continue for testify in a high court before Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Mina Usman Kamara, the report.
Alright, the program Good Morning Salone continue from court to the come back to we guess quickly before we look at on a message and we on a don't send. Salu Camara from New. We see on a get for focus on civic education, especially on issues we get for do with elections. But we already get existing institutions them same way so way they do this kind of work. How new plan for ensure say on a not get a duplicate of institutions and we already we get more than 2 we like then function and responsibility now directly for deal with civic education. How na plan for make una a bit different, but one for achieve the same thing at the end of the day.
I feel saying I would emphasize the importance of collaboration. And elections business is very technical. We involved in a lot of civic and political education, but we work with the institution. For instance, we get NCRA, where that the National Civil Registration Authority then get responsibility for do all civil registration. So if we do civic education around the areas, then we work with them. First and foremost, we go for, we say they go try to get the knowledge from them, so that the message they take out, it not going to be different from their own message that they take out. And where possible, we can create the platform and bring them on board and talk to the people. So it's not so that we not get forget any messages them where they go. Differently. The same with the National Electoral Commission. And so we done the work all along. When we need something, we they go. We say they go for one day for can train with young people, and then they can train them, orientate them before we go out and make the message, because we know the importance of that. When you get different messages, that they also they water down even the integrity. So they work with them. We know they go it alone. We they work with them. We say they learn from them. We they acquire knowledge and skills from them. Just that the advantage you get, we scatter all over the country, and we even they reach even the smallest community. So we feel say if we partner with them, then give with the knowledge, then give with the tools, then we can just go and pass on the information. So we not they try for create our own messages, but rather we they use the messages them where they already don't make them, work with them, and we use with strength for love reach out to the remotest communities.
Okay, continue for do it inside the studio. Sal Camara from New and Ina the spokesperson inside the program Good Morning Salone now. We they take some message them way una don't send. And this first one where they read about the story of the National Youth Commission. They say bravo to Mr. Carter for empowering the women to stand on their own. I hope that they will make good use of the empowerment.
This other message say New should include ghetto-based youth groups who are vulnerable and are used to involve in pre and post-election violence. Wanted na Black Street and send a message here.
Another message here, they say, New, make sure you involve everybody, especially cultural and traditional groups, should be considered in this program.
This other one say, if I have a young civil society organization, how can we be member of the National Election Watch?
More message inside the program, and this one they say the support by European Union was a timely move because our peace is very fragile.
Salimu Kalimu na passive as they asked Mr. Kamara how many civil society organizations came together to form New.
Another message again on the libel report, they say the libel law is affecting the work of journalists, and I think government should go by its commitment.
This other message, the person they asked say what will be the immediate work of New after receiving such huge support from the EU, because we are not in elections period yet.
This other one we are going to say the Information and Communication Minister has really done a great job by taking the law to Parliament. Parliament have to take the law as everybody's concern.
This final one we go take for now because of time. The person they ask say what is the monitoring mechanism in place to ensure that the 8 billion loans be utilized for its purpose. It comes out from Ahmed na Juba.
Well, from their message and dinner, we come over to his studio guest, Saliu Kamara, when the spokesperson na New follow a respond.
Okay, thank you very much, and I want to thank the Texas them. The ghetto-based groups, like the other texter, which is say, we they go all out for make sure say we not left anyone behind. And in fact, the purpose of this project basically for love cater for them one the way normally they get left them behind, where their voices. But we believe say everybody in voice counts, because the outcome of every election they affect everybody within the country. So let the rest assure say we dey make sure say we get down to everybody. Then the cultural and traditional groups, yeah, that one they them very important. We see them very, very, very important. In fact, now one means we they able to communicate to the people easily. So all of the people they will make sure say we get them on board and bring them on board and play their role. How for become a member, like I say, new before you become a member of new, because we know they take individual membership now, organization membership. But the organization for make sure say it register, because one forget the legitimacy of an organization. Any organization who want for be new, it for first be a registered organization with any established government agency. Then when you come, we they do some background checks, you fill the form. After that, if you feel say you meet the criteria, then you will come on board. Because no one forget anybody, then tomorrow we get any other problem. Then somebody asks how many CSU them be there. Yeah, at the beginning, actually not that they're too plenty, but then the people then decide for come. But how new actually come, that time that they will be get civil society movement Sierra Leone, we actually did. So now based on that civil society movement Sierra Leone, be very active then. You know, everybody know the role civil society play up to the time when they be organized that May 8 something. So they feel say now elections done, let us get this thing going. So the leadership of CSM then come together, bring other organizations then, they form this thing. But as I said, we start very small. And not going to give a specific number of organizations that will be there. But now so it starts and we start very small. But thank God we don't go bigger and bigger, because I remember when we start, we get very strong organizations where they say we take the lead, like the CCSL, the NBD, all like the Talking Drum Studio, like the Network Movement for Justice and Development, all of the organizations that they've been there. But now we don't go, and you always find when you born picking, you always want to have for go big.
What will they talk about peace? Citizens' participation for pre and post-elections period. The role of political party then very critical, because not even most times, the political party them now them can talk to their supporters them, where at the end of the day sometimes we can get clashes with the happen campaigns them, or even time when not to election period. In this project where EU they sponsor on us, so how on a plan for work with the political party them, because already the launch of the project, some political parties already don't they complain, say they not been the part of them. How on a plan for work with the political party then?
Yeah, we always work with them, and I think that just brings me to the next text in question, waiting at the immediate, because it's not to elections. The political parties, even the PPRC way they, I mean discussions that they go on with some people and say, now we look at the act to establish the PPRC, whether the act is sufficient enough for let it go able, I mean, kind of regulate the political parties adequately. So if that no even there's some people that they say let me review the PPRC Act, because if we review the PPRC, it is now just a registration, but then get the mandate for registered political parties. But who also feel, some people also feel they forget the mandate as well, and also the wherewithal for let them make sure say they regulate, because if you register possible you not get the power for regulator. So maybe that also they make this the party value who we plan for work with all political parties. And when we want launch, we make say, because the way how the situation then now people are not for crowd now one place plenty. So we invite the political parties that within a parliament. So probably now make some political parties that they talk to, they're not invited, because we not send invitation letters to the political parties because of time. Rather we direct the letters then a parliament who sort of feel say then political party heads say a good day. And they received the letter, because even the leader of the main opposition, APC, within a parliament, he said, don't get back to we apologize, say, he received an invitation letter, but by then, he can sit in a parliament and he make not even go. So, but he give the assurance, say, he very more happy, say, in fact, then they try for work with their colleagues, if they able set up a committee across parties, so that we go even engage with civil society, especially around the elections there, so that any time we need them for performing a role as parliamentarians, we go able to inform them and then self they come, so they get that interaction there.
So now in this project or partnership we don't get with EU, on a plan for maintain the civil society they don't work with, or go open doors for extension?
Yeah, we always dey open doors for extension, and there is also we get criteria where they look. If organizations they will be there with you presently, if they no longer meet that criteria, then that organization they not go be. Mind you, even when they ask and people they say the integrity very important. Right. An organization will deal with we if we feel say if we continue for align ourselves with that organization, they dent the integrity of new. They will not get no option. We get for diverse relationship with that organization there, and new members they will they take because like all what we don't talk the work with they at hand iboku. Right. So we need more capable hands for come on board. Right. So we they look forward to that.
Many thanks for joining at the program this morning. Salu Kamara, spokesman for the National Election Watch. Thank you, we can at the studio.
Thank you very much.
All right, when I had this edition of the program, Good Morning Salone Golefuna, plenty thank you to the production team. Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Kurumaro produced the program. DJ Lava, we give you technical support. Franklin Pemak, we make on a series live na Facebook. To the rest of the team, many thanks, and Mabel Kavade, get yourself a wonderful day. Goodbye.
And Sapti Kalone say bye-bye.